Dr. Morse, please first let me tell you what privilege. Oh, well, it is that you are answering my question. Oh, well, thank you. I would answer them all, Kim, if I could just get more time. But you know what? Everything's working now. I got to play the carpenter role here. I've got to build a Tilla room, and we're redoing our offices because we're tight in here. And I just got to play the little carpenter role for a few days here. But I'm going to try to get as much of these videos out as I can and get all your questions answered. It's just apologies. It's been the holidays, and we've had all kinds of. My youngest son's wife left him 3 or 4 days before Christmas, so that's been turmoil, and it's just been one thing after another. But that's what's out there. You have to be strong within the self. And you can't put all your eggs in someone else, emotionally or any other way, because now your door's open to be ripped. You can give great love when you're whole. When you feel good about yourself, you love yourself, and you understand more of yourself. That's a self-fulfillment. You don't need to have someone for your happiness. You need to have someone for your joy. To play with and have fun. That's why you have someone, not to meet any type of quota or do the religious thing of marriage and all that crap. This is about enjoying creation. You are a free bird. You were born to be an individual and free. If you take on a mate for a while, you do. But in your journey through creation, you will have many, 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 many mates of all types. And you will change forms many, many times. Think about it. Think about this. If you want to become more I don't want to use the word intelligent, but academically intelligent, you have to go to school. And you start out in your basics, and then you build in your understanding. Well, that's just how creation is. Remember we talked about that mirror. Everything's just a shattered piece of the mirror. Well, in creation, everything is a piece of God, but at a different level. And it's that way so we can have grass and plants and flowers, trees, animals. We can have Homo sapiens. Remember, we're just an experiment growing. The form, we're consciousness. The form we're using is continuing to grow. And there has been thought in some of the higher levels of whether the human species needs to be terminated and a new species brought forth at this level. Because you look at the human species. It's a violent species. It's aberrated really bad. It doesn't even understand its own health needs. So the Homo sapiens species is a level of consciousness that needs a lot of help. That's just, again, there's deeper reasons why we're here, but that's one of them. And so understand that in the Homo sapien, got to bring himself up a little bit, out of the bowels of the lower worlds a little bit. And understand itself at higher levels. But all life is kind of doing that right now. Take a look at this. I thought this was really cool. Because now you're seeing more apes walking bipedal, right? There's pictures of apes now standing and walking bipedally. It's like, well, now bears are starting to. They have now pictures of bears walking bipedally. Pretty cool. So who knows what the future's coming. It's just so exciting on one hand and very disrupting on another. But it's just creation. And this is one little movie. There's so many movies. There's a movie in the ant colonies. There's another movie going on in the grass. There's another movie going on in those plants out there. There's another movie going on in the nano levels in this wool here. There's nowhere life isn't. It's amazing. Simply amazing when you allow yourself to expand and become a part of the all instead of focusing on these narrow little bitty things. But you have to focus on the narrow little bitty things to have experiences, of course, but don't get too locked in there. Compound found in herbs and spices strengthens brain connections. Ooh, this is pretty good. I wanted to show you this one I found here. I don't know what I do with it. University of California. This is the University of California study here. And it says, confirms the real cause of obesity in America. Well, I'll just say that they put that in that context, but really this is just one of the problems. Excess acids stored inside your fat cells. Now, where you have acidosis, what are the two things you have going on? Edema and lipid coagulation. Well, there's three things. Actually, on your test, there's three things. What's the third thing? Calcium. But in this case, you're looking at edema and lipid accumulation because it's about acidosis. So it's interesting that the University of California discovered that fat cells have too much acids in them when they get bigger. Interesting. Interesting, don't you all think? You all know truth. This is all truth. And when you start seeing all these studies, they're going to come down on you. You're going to go, look at that. Look at that. What is this? Compound found in herbs and spices strengthens brain connections. You know, there's so many cool things out there, guys. We're discovering at certain levels some of the little bitty things that already exist and that are going on. It's funny, we're just discovering that which exists. Man just simply has to get with the realization that he's a tropical species no matter where he lives on the rock, and that he has to eat at least a big part of his meals like that. And if you want to get well, you have to go back and fix your body a little bit, physical body. That'll rebound into fixing the astral or emotional body, and it'll also go in and strengthen the mind and get more mental control. Because if you don't control your mind, it'll control you. And pretty soon you're a rocket without a home. I haven't read this one yet, about this neuroscience research finding. The study was part of a PhD dissertation. Look at that. Source, I have to look at this up. Sounds pretty good. Commitment of human, oh my God, untreated and interesting stuff. Just good stuff. But what word could we use here to suggest what weakens amyloid plaque, right? Matter of fact, we've got going up on our website the cells, the cancer cells, the non-cancer cells. We've got a lot of things going up, and I hope they're getting up there so you can see all these things, and we can direct your attention to that so you can see firsthand that anytime you see a cell that's aberrated, it generally has protein stuck all on it and mucus around it, which is the lymph system dealing with the acidosis of it. So it's just, you see just what's going on. It's the interpretation of what you see that's the problem allopathically and in our scientific community, because they started working at the ass end of the donkey. They started looking at the effects. You can't do that. You know, when biochemistry is calling bases acids, there's a problem here.